3.
We watched it.
ഉന്നമടക്കായൽ ഈ കുട്ടനാടൻ കായൽ തുള്ളിയോടും മീനെ കരിമീനെ നിന്നെ കണ്ടേ ഉന്നെല്ലുകൾ കൊയ്തുവാ താമര കണ്ണാളെ പൂമാരനെ കണ്ടുവോ കാവിനരികെ മണിമഞ്ചാടിച്ചോ പുള്ള നാണം കൊണ്ടോ.
So we finished watching.
Say the name. Come on, you can do it.
Munthirivallikal
Thalirkkumbol.
Thalirkkumbol.
And what you think?
Now this was a different film from what we were used to seeing of Mohanlal.
Yeah.
It was like a very like a clean role, very father. Like we've seen him in other fatherly roles too, but I feel like this was very kind of like a sentimental story, just
about
kind
a
of
family,
about a family, about relationships.
With his wife, and a lot of people told me, Raj, make sure you watch this film. You're gonna fall in love with you all over again, with people all over again. I was like, okay.
I mean, we never stopped.
I don't think so. Yeah, their relationship was. I mean, they were elderly couples, so maybe they were going through a different stage in their life.
And you know, a lot of what they showed in the film was so relatable that you see nowadays in elderly couples, right? Like eventually with time, and you hear elderly couples saying that, you know, love changes with time. Like, you know, right now, you know, you guys may be in love with each other, but then eventually that love goes to your kids, and then your love kind of just fades away. So the film really showed how, you know, like a wife and a husband, Mohanlal and his wife, how the love was just not there. Like it wasn't. It looks like Mohanlal in the beginning wanted some type of excitement in his relationship, so he started to explore.
Like they weren't together, even though they were married, but they weren't together physically, emotionally, mentally. They weren't together. Like he would sleep in a different room, and she was just busy with the kid.
So he started talking to this lady on the phone all the time. He even like got like a special phone from his like what was his brother-in-law that he got the phone from, and he would always keep it with him, message him. His wife kind of had an idea something was happening, but she just didn't care. She was like, okay, like you know.
And then eventually that kind of relationship that he shared with that new lady kind of backfired. So he realized that he made a mistake. He shouldn't have done that. And that's when the day he realized his mistake, that's the day everything changed about him. He started noticing his wife a lot more when she wore his favorite perfume, I think, right? At the church. And he started noticing everything about her. He started noticing how pretty and beautiful his wife is.
How well she sings.
Exactly. And then he started to fall in love with her all over again. He started spending more time with her, and which she was kind of like, what's wrong with you in the beginning, because she wasn't used to that. Maybe she has forgotten that kind of affection that he used to show before.
Right.
That after that, when their relationship kind of got back on track, the movie kind of shifted through a different route. I think was very relatable and very like a good issue that they talked about,
especially in today's generation with kids and cell phones. So the movie kind of shifts after everything goes well with Mohanlal to his daughter, who, you know, has a cell phone and starts talking to like this guy, starts meeting this guy, and the brother notices that, you know, she's talking to this guy and everything like that, and is concerned. But eventually she gets caught, right? The parents catch her. The parents are like, okay, there's something going on.
But remember when Mohanlal follows her when she doesn't go to the school.
But that was a little bit towards the end when after catching her, because they didn't want to bring it to her attention because she had exams going on. So she was like, they felt like she had to study and stuff like that. So they didn't bring it to her attention until later on into the film, where then
I really liked the ending when she was actually going there to meet this guy to pretty much like to stop everything.
To just like end it.
To end everything. And Mohanlal obviously doesn't know that he follows her to this hotel, and he just sits there, and like, you know, he was like, as a father, he just sits there and he's probably thinking, if something goes down, I'm gonna beat shit out of this guy. But first I just want to sit here and listen to what my daughter has to say. And he just listens to her and talking to the guy, and she pretty much ends it like, you know, I'm very young, I need to focus on my studies, focus on my family, I can't do this, you know. And she ends it, and she just leaves, and that's when Mohanlal gets up, kind of holds her.
Such a proud moment.
Such a proud moment, and he didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to yell at her. He didn't have to hit her. She just kind of understood, and she made a right choice.
It just shows how much like phones and technology take over our lives and sometimes can guide us towards like the wrong way, right? So I think that's what this film was about, is that like if you really think about the story, it had to do with a cell phone. It had to do with how the cell phone kind of changed the relationship like within the family and how it did within the daughter. Like if you really look into it, and you know, it's true, like things like that do happen. Like, you know, kids do spend way too much time on the phone or like end up doing like, you know, making mistakes on the phone and stuff like that. So I feel like the story had a very strong like morale to it, is that really pay attention to your family members, really pay attention to your kids, spend more time with them, actually get to know what they're up to. And I feel like their approach as parents in this film was very good.
Very good.
Instead of like, you know, beating the kid or anything like that, their approach was done very well.
I think this movie can be seen by elderly couple who is going through the same thing, where they look for excitement, and then maybe they're doing this, so maybe they stop that and they start focusing on their wives. I think so they can watch it as well. And also like a newly wedded couple, and you know, who has kids, who's like who have kids who's like teenagers, so they kind of going through the same thing. So I think they both can kind of enjoy it.
You know, it kind of showed like how like the generation gap and how they used the cell phones. You know, like the dad was like sneaky like using it like that way, and the daughter was using it, you know, maybe as like a normality thing to talk to her boyfriend and stuff like that, but it ended up being such a big issue.
So overall, I would say it was a very good, enjoyable film. And Mohanlal acted like, again, like a boss. Like, you know, he acted like Brad. He acted like a good father. This movie was also very well directed too. Like, you know, the scenes weren't boring. It was very like we were glued to our seat. We were in this family, and even though this wasn't like a path-breaking film, like oh my god, such a good film. It was like good, like you feel good. You feel good after watching this film. You kind of learn a few things. So good film, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I could have really felt like my dad would have been the same character like in this film, you know, except for the whole calling the other woman and stuff like that, minus that part out. But the dad role that he took, you know, towards like the second half of the film for his daughter, he totally reminds me of my dad when he acts like a father. Like I love it.
Do let us know what do you think about Munthirivallikal Thalirkkumbol. Do let us know what you think about this film. We definitely enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Out of 10,
9.
Really? I would say 8.
9.
I would say 8. So do let us know what you think about this film, and do also let me know what was your favorite part from this film. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Follow social media.
Keep sending your requests, guys.
And more reviews coming, including Spadicum. I'm so sorry. It's gonna come soon. It's coming. I'm gonna do it. So stay tuned. Sorry about that. I also heard Angamal Diaries DVD finally came out, so we gotta watch that film. That movie I heard is really good, recommended by a lot of people. I was looking forward to it. So that DVD just came out, so we're gonna find it, we're gonna watch it, and do a review on it. So stay tuned.
We just can't say bye.
Bye, guys.